Good day, sir, and welcome to this program. Sir, can we know you, please?
Thank you for having me. My name is Agu Ojukwu. I was former Chief Economic Advisor to the government of Abia State, 2007 to 2011. But now I'm a strategic management consultant.
Sir, the people of Nigeria expect President Buhari to perform magic and fix the Nigerian economy quickly. Do you think this is possible?
Well, actually, this magic has been possible for as long as Nigeria has existed. What has been missing is adopting the right process to do it. It is possible to fix the Nigerian economy within 3 months of starting the process using what we call strategic management complex problem solving approach, which is the only approach that is suitable for such an exercise. Any other approach would exacerbate the situation.
Really? How can this be done?
You see, we are in the knowledge age, which requires that we leave out experimentations, trial and errors, and so on, and do things by the means that is most likely to give the highest possible result. In strategic management starts first by understanding the issues, and the essence is to make complex issues as simple as possible. So the starting point in fixing any economy at all in Africa or anywhere in the world is by understanding, having deep insight first of what economic development is all about and the facts that are necessary. Second one is to diagnose the situation, to come to grips with what is actually the real cause of the situation of that particular economy. Then you now look at the way going forward and propose a solution that will allow you to go into the future. After which you now convert that solution into action. What has been happening in Nigeria is that people simply go straight into action. They think of the problems, which in real terms, Nigeria has multitude of problems. But in strategic management, some of these problems are problems caused by a prior problem, which if you solve the prior problem, some of them will leave the stage on their own. Which is why you must diagnose to see the fundamental problem and then solve it, and everything will take shape.
Very interesting. If this is correct, why didn't any of the previous presidents employ it? And why hasn't the President Buhari embarked on it?
Yes, you see, Nigerians have been confusing this issue of economy. Some people see electricity, water, and roads as economy. So they tackle electricity, water, and roads, and then they leave out the economy itself, which is actually a system. So, and the economy, the system of the economy should actually drive the infrastructure required to make the system work. But unfortunately, they concentrate on the physical infrastructure, calling it economy, and mixing out on the system, which is actually an intellectual thing. So in the past, these people failed to do these things because they were concentrating on the wrong definition. They had a political definition of an economy. They worked on that political definition. And the immediate past coordinating minister for the economy was actually busy manipulating the finances of Nigeria. Because there's a difference between financial manipulations and the actual solving of real problems. So they were busy manipulating the financial structures and so on. But the situation, the elements of the economy were not tackled.
Thank you very much.
Now, coming to President Buhari, I can say that the reason he has not embarked on this aspect is because people always assume that somebody in power knows it all, but it's not so. We in strategic management consulting know that every leader needs help. And that is why we are making efforts to bring certain things to his consciousness so that will enable him to follow a straight and direct path to quick economic development.
Beautiful. Now, what will Nigerians gain if and when the economy is fixed, as you suggest?
I can actually tell you that the system we have in Nigeria today is what is corrupting the people, and is also limiting the use of their talents and so on. Now, if we fix the Nigerian economy correctly, you will see people deploying their talents, their energies will start, their talents will start showing, because they have the platform to deploy their efforts in going in the right direction. And then there will be a support system to allow them to do things, to pursue the goals of the national economy in the process of pursuing their personal goals. So once that is done, once people see that the ceiling has been removed and that there's a platform for them to realize their dreams, you will marvel at what Nigerians will do, the kind of things they will come up with. You will now see that many people who are inventors in this country, but who have been suppressed by the system of the economy, will automatically start showing their inventiveness and so on. There are certain things that Nigerian system as it is now takes for granted. Inventors, for instance, do not want opportunities governed by luck. They want opportunities governed by talent, which allows them to show their talent. Because a situation where it is only when your brother becomes minister or president, then they give you contracts and you make money. That kind of situation does not grow an economy. And inventors do not look for such situations. They want a situation that will allow them to invent something, and they get the support to transform what they have invented into action and economic implications for the economy. That's what they prefer.
Thank you so much. What can be done, or rather, why do we have so many failed policies, programs, and projects in Nigeria?
Anything you do halfway will not yield results. Nigerians will always tell you that we have so many beautiful programs in the country that what is missing is implementation. But I can tell you that the problem is not really implementation. The problem is that the programs were incomplete. And any program you name in Nigeria, I will tell you why it's incomplete. We once had what we called Operation Feed the Nation. Beautiful title, we call it in strategic management. But when you read the document, you will see that it's a bad merchandise. The document did not tackle how that project can run and be sustainable going into the future. It only concentrated on how the membership of the board will be constituted and how the chairmanship will rotate and so on. But when you hear Operation Feed the Nation, you will say it's a good project because you expect food to be produced. But it cannot be produced, it cannot work until you turn that policy into a program. And when you turn it into a program, you now show how the people can play a part in that program and realize their dreams, those of them who are into agriculture. So what we have always had is good policy, bad programs, and because it's bad program, it can't be implemented. And even if you implement a program and you do not have a means of measuring the performance of that program, you will not know if that program is on course, if that program is derailing, if that program is succeeding. You will not know. A program may be good, but the implementation process, which has the operational process, which has eliminated performance measurement, which is the only tool that allows you to check where you are deviating and correct it, fine-tune, so that the program will remain on board. That's why most programs are started, they run into a hitch, there's no performance measurement, there's no correction of anything, and the program just dies naturally. Another government comes into power, the Operation Feed the Nation program. That Operation Feed the Nation program was done under Obasanjo. Shagari came in and rechristened it Green Revolution. Another beautiful title, but at the same time, bad merchandise. Because programs are what government needs to mobilize the people to perform or join a particular industry. But these programs must be industry specific. Because in Nigeria, people hear about agriculture. Agriculture is a sector. It's not one industry. Now, when you break the agricultural sector down into industries, like in Nigeria, you will now have the oil palm industry, the groundnut industry, the cashew industry, the cocoa industry, the cassava industry, the rice industry, all of them will now start coming up. So if you make one policy for all the programs together, you have automatically failed. And there will not be any possibility of success. In Nigeria, we have the Agric Bank. It is one common interest rate for all types of agricultural crops. But we know that the problem of the rice farmer is not the same thing as the problem of the oil palm farmer or the rubber farmer. Because the oil palm farmer, the rice farmer can farm his rice. In 6 months, he harvests the rice, sells it, and makes money and can pay back. The oil palm farmer will have to wait for 5 years before he can make commercial harvest. That means he has no means of earning any money until 5 years. If you now expect him to be servicing the loan or to be repaying, he will not do it. That simply means that by your single common policy for everybody, you have told people, don't go into oil palm business, don't go into rubber plantation business, because rubber takes a minimum of 7 years. So all those things that have long gestation, you have told people, don't do it. Now you reduce everybody to farming vegetables that they can immediately recover, or maximum cassava that takes a year. So this is why these programs fail, because they do not take into cognizance the particular nature of the industries they want to tackle. They deal with most industries according to sector, but not specific. But without using an industry-specific approach to all issues, Nigeria will never get it right.